Yo, yo, yo! What is up, artists and art fans? Thank you guys for tuning into the only spot where we talk to your favorite artist about the trade, the tools, and of course the tips. Y'all know the spiel. I'm your host, Zim Zimma, and you guys are on Chatting with Zim. This is episode 124, man. Holy cow. And you know what? We got a special treat for y'all. We got a returning guest, awesome James Sullivan. You guys know him better as Sketching the Beast. I think the last time he was on with us was like over a year ago. Episode 39 in the archives, if you guys go back. Yeah, that's been a long time coming. A lot of great things have been going on with him as well. So, let's go ahead and kick it. Let's invite him over into the mothership. While we do that, thank you guys very much for coming on. I see Blackjack Davy, Delanu, Secreton, no map required. What is up, fellas, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on to your seats because we're going to go on a wild ride. And don't forget to bring a notebook. For any of you guys living in the Midwest, the Delanoose and myself will be going to the anime Halloween. That's going to happen between the 29th till the 31st from 1 to 4 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be out there in Schaumburg. I think it's the Hyatt Regency. So hit us up, buy some tickets, come visit us, come show some love, some support, and all that fun stuff, right? Without further ado, let's get our guest, man. Let's get James and see what's going on with him. See how he's doing and what's crack-a-lacking, y'all. Hey, thank you guys for being on the show. Hey, what up, James? How you doing, bro?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Oh, man, a little tired. I ain't gonna lie, man. But I'm good, man. I'm hanging in there. Super excited, man. Just talk to you, catching up with you, man, and seeing what's been going on, bro.
Yeah, word up, dude. Yeah, thanks for having me back, man. As always, I enjoy being on the show. So yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah. How was your weekend, man? Or how's your week going?
This week has been the week from hell. But I'm alive. Everybody's healthy, and I really can't complain too much. But sort of one of those life struggles types of things, right? Where you just stuff gets in the way, and you got to take a step back and kind of take everything as it comes, right? But yeah, my wife was in the hospital this week since Wednesday. She's been
Oh,
in and out
no.
of the hospital. The
Sorry
good
to hear
news
that, man.
is, the good news is so we're having another child, and she's due in January.
That's what's up. Congrats, man. Hopefully
Thank you,
everything's
thank
going
you.
healthy and good, though.
Yeah. So far, right? So it's one of those things. My wife has some other medical issues that she's dealing with alongside of the pregnancy. So it's kind of one of those things that we're kind of half expecting her to be in and out of the hospital. It just everything makes it a little more difficult when you already have a kid in the mix, right? But yeah, no, it's like I said, just taking everything one step at a time right now. But I was looking forward to this. I had 10 billion other things I had to do this week. I got to be honest, I haven't even picked up the pencil this week. That's how bad it's been.
Oh no, that's an artist's sin right there, dude.
Yes, I know. And at night, they one of the things that I always tell people is like being an artist is almost like if you're trying to do it professionally, really you're only doing art like maybe 30-40% of the time. The rest of the time is making prints, figuring out what you're doing, hiring an art a colorist if you need to do that, making your prints if you make them, or ordering them if you order them, just making social media posts, yada 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 yada.
The
Keeping
list
people
goes on and
updated.
on and on, right?
Yeah, there's so much involved, and it can be I've told people it can be a very thankless job, and it can
Mm.
be a very tough job to maintain. But if it's your passion and you want to do it, you just struggle through it.
That there's a saying that when people become like their own bosses and stuff, they think it's gonna become even easier, but work just gets that much harder, man. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, definitely. And like, with the ever evolving, social media and different way artists are presenting their media and stuff, you have to figure out what's your next step and how you're going to stay ahead of the game and how you're going to get your next piece of content out there for people. And that's something I constantly struggle with is providing new stuff for people to be interested in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things.
For sure, man. Well, there's a lot going on, dude. So definitely, man. A lot in this past week for you, James.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy.
And we waited a few minutes for everybody who is joining us now. Really quick, we're talking with James Sullivan, Sketching the Beast. You guys make sure you guys go and subscribe and give him a follow at Sketching the Beast right there on the YouTubes. And while you're there, subscribe under this guy right here. So,
yeah, sure.
Show some love, y'all. Show that support.
Yeah, Zim's the man. Follow him.
Oh, thanks, man. Other special shout-outs to Della News, Delatory Comics, Monsters Art Clan, Live with Seven, The Drawn Con Show, and Dead and Laughing, y'all. So there you go. Go follow them as well if you guys want more of this one-on-one artist, right? Talk and stuff. Dude, so lots have happened since the last time I spoke to you.
Yeah, I can't believe episode 36 was that long ago. Oh my god.
Yeah, 39.
39, sorry. Wow, it's been forever, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while, dude. It's been a wild ride as well on this side,
That's awesome. Here you passed 100. You keep going, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think I'm coming around to year 3 year 3 pretty soon in a few weeks. So that's gonna be pretty cool, man.
That's awesome.
And not only that, dude, another exciting part, bro, is watching all of you guys like literally start doing these shows now, start getting out there. That's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? That's badass, dude. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely.
You're one of them. Delanus and myself, we started going out there as well. So man, it's addictive. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude. It was I mean, we chatted about it over Messenger. It was cool to see you go to one of your first shows, and it was awesome. My first show was fantastic. I finally decided to throw my hat in the ring, and I think it went pretty well. And yeah, I'm with you, dude. Like getting out of that experience after having a good weekend. It is at first kind of mentally exhausting, because you're doing a lot more social interacting, especially after COVID, and who interacted with anybody during COVID, right? So, getting out of that experience was mentally exhausting, but it was kind of eye opening, and it just like it's one of those things is you still get that like kick of adrenaline from like that was awesome, that was amazing, I can't wait to do it again. Like I was so excited that I was like, where's my next convention and where am I going? I didn't have anything else planned after that first one, because I was like, let's see how this goes. And I'm really not expecting a good outcome for this. And hey guys, everybody for joining, thank you for tuning in. But so like I was like, I kind of had my expectations really low. And the convention was just it's such a different experience when you're on the other side of the table. It really is. When you're walking around and chatting with people, it's one experience. But when you're on the other side of the table, it's just a whole nother like world, And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know what, that that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you back on, man, is to talk about the experience, right? Talk about it, share it with people. Let's see how we could help them out. We're not. I'm not pro by any means. So, but if I could offer some feedback, then it helps, man. It acts. Danny Cortez, shout out. He says it gets addicting.
Yeah, definitely.
I bet. Yeah. And a bunch of people too, man. They said congratulations, man, on the new kid.
Yes.
Just reading over the comments here.
Yeah. Sorry, I only see like 2 comments at a time. So
Yeah, yeah, it happens. Yeah, I lose track sometimes, man. Sometimes it
yeah,
gets iffy. Uh, First impressions, dude, on the con, just right off the bat.
yeah. So right off the bat, so my first con it was Flower City Con. It was last month, I think it was. What is this? October? Um, yeah, I think it was last month. So it was Flower City Con, and it took place in Rochester, New York. I've never actually been to Rochester, New York, even though it's only a half hour away from me. For all you guys out there, I live in like the Buffalo area in
Mm-hmm.
New York. So Rochester was probably about an hour away. So I figured that was a good place to start because it was
Yeah,
close, right?
not bad.
So the convention, the table was not actually super expensive, which also helped me make that jump, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so walking in, it was a little under and overwhelming in a couple different ways. First, it was underwhelming because I expected it to be like more, but you know what I mean? Like I got there really early because I was so excited and nervous. And I actually so I just wrote about this in my blog. My the whole drive there, the closer I got, and like my wife will back me up on this, the closer I got to the convention, the worse my shakes were getting because I was
Oh
like
no.
I'm so nervous. I was sweating in the car, and I'm driving, so I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing as well. I was just so nervous. I'm like, I was shaking and stuff, like, and like I was like shivering my jaw.
Oh
And
no.
I was just like, there's so many things that go on in your head while you're getting to that point, right? And because like this is my first one, so like I said, I tried to keep my expectations low, but there's also that aspect of like, the artist ego where it's like, what if nobody likes my stuff, and
Ah,
what's going to
yeah.
happen, what's going to happen if nobody walks by my table, and this has been a whole, waste of a weekend, and yada yada. There's obviously, I was thinking of the pros that come with that as well, but obviously when you're nervous, your brain kind of just starts to create its own scenarios.
I could just imagine you, man. You- Hey, but that's good though. I mean, you're nervous, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I mean,
you're
yeah, it
human. You
shows.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it shows excitement. I think, to be
Yeah.
honest, it shows that I'm, very passionate about it. That I am nervous, versus, not caring at all. But we walked in, we loaded up early, and I didn't have a whole ton of stuff because I'm still fairly new. Like I don't have a lot of prints and all that other stuff because usually I'm just a commission artist. I've been a commission artist for I don't know 3 years now, and so my print list is very short at the moment. So I've actually been spending this last month building that up. But so I walked in. Funny enough, the convention center still had their turf down. So that was kind of cool because it was actually comfortable. It made it for a much more comfortable, like, I don't know, just
Experience.
standing and walking around. It was, I think that they were trying to actually get rid of the turf so they could have the convention without the turf, but they ended up keeping the turf. And yeah, I just think it worked out really well. Um, so So, I walked in, I set up my table, and we just kind of hung out for a while because, like I said, we got there really early because I didn't know what to expect, and how much preparation there would be, involved. So walking in, first impressions were very exciting and very nervous, and like I said, the underwhelming part was I just thought that there'd be a lot more, you know, but it was a smaller con,
Mm.
and it was still a decent sized con. It was different from what I've experienced.
Yeah, yeah. Now you mentioned earlier, that that you have like a small variety of prints, right, available and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, were you like, do you feel like you were super underprepared, or do you feel like you were at the right spot?
So as I was going there, that was one of those things that was going on in my
Mm-hmm.
head was like, do I have enough, right? Do I have anywhere near enough to provide to people that want to buy stuff? And I mean, I would say I was a little underprepared as
Okay.
far as supplies. I mean, I brought all my Copic markers. I probably brought more than I needed to bring as far as art supplies. But I was like kind of I was erring on the side of better safe than sorry, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Always.
yeah. So like I think I had, let me see. So I had 8.5 by 11 sizes and 11 by 17 sizes. And I also had one metal print that I brought. I had 5 of them, but it was one print of the Venom that I did a while ago. And I mean, it looks fantastic. And I was really hoping, that would be a big sell. Um, but yeah, I think maybe I had 10 different types of prints, and maybe even if that, like, yeah. So there was my table. I set up, I had some comic blanks. I did that Deadpool the night before because I was like, do I have enough?
Sweet.
I need to do more.
Can never
Yeah.
have enough, James.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's kind of now my mentality after seeing a lot um, of the other artists there
Mm.
is the more the merrier, right? I mean, I think there is a point where it becomes overwhelming for people. Like if they have to if someone has to sit there and flip through a book to find the prints that they want, I think that gets a little overwhelming for some people.
Okay.
I think that persuades people to not want to do that because you got other people walking behind you too, and there's like a flow to the convention. Um, but without veering too far off of your original question, I would say I was partially underprepared.
Okay. Cool. Cool, man. No, and it's funny. It's funny you got to talking a little bit more because that was one of my next questions. Is what varieties did you offer as opposed in size? You know what I mean? Um,
Like I said, so they have the 8.5 by 11 size prints that I actually most of them were printed by myself here in my art studio,
there
and
you
then
go.
11 by 17s, which I had kind of a variety of half printed myself and half printed by professional print company. Um, excuse me, I got a smidge of allergies. Um, but But yeah, 8.5 by 11s and 11 by 17s, and then I had like I said one metal print 11 by 17, and I had printed out a couple of them. I had sold one before I got to the show, and the metal prints. I gotta say, if you can bring one or two metal prints to your show, that even if you're even if you're afraid that people won't stop at your table, if you have that displayed, people will stop and look at it because they're like, that's cool. I mean, you can
Nice.
see it's glossy, it's shiny. That turned out really sharp. I mean, I think the metal prints actually bring out way better details than a regular print does,
That's something
because
to think about.
the colors just lay on differently, and then got the shimmer from the print as well, from the metal. I mean, so something to think about for anybody that wants to do a convention. Try, think about if you have it in your budget, maybe getting a couple metal prints. I wouldn't start off with a big print like I did, the 11 by 17s, especially if you're newer.
Hmm.
But maybe something smaller, 8.5, 8 by 10, or 5 by 7 or something. Um, but then I had a couple of comic blanks that I had drawn on, like you'd seen in the video, that I provided. And like I said, like the night before, because I was freaking out so bad that I didn't have enough, I was like, let me do this Deadpool. And then it turns out the Deadpool, the cover was one of those really bad glossy covers that like doesn't take well to comics.
Oh no. Yeah.
And I spent so much time sketching it out and like drawing, and I'm like, and then I start laying down the colors, and I'm like, mother effer. I mean, it actually took so well. To the actual inks were great, and I'm like, okay, this won't be too bad. I just have to maybe wait for it to dry a little extra. No, it was trash. It was complete trash,
Oh
and
no.
it was so you could see the lines so badly from the coloring that I had just discounted it. I was like, special convention sale, $5, you could take it.
Wow. And what markers did he use on that?
I used
Were they?
Copics.
Oh man, and it didn't
Yeah,
take, huh?
it did not take. The cover was not absorbent at all. So the
Wow.
inks just kind of sat on there and dried as a line. It was just
Oh
I
no.
I even tried to go through and like blend it with my like finger to
Hmm.
make it a little bit better, and it kind of helped a little, but it didn't do much.
Man,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Well, hey man, that's good to know, you know. Uh
Yeah.
let's all learn from this experience, you know?
Yeah, I almost feel like someone needs to come out with a list of like Marvel covers that take well to any kind of art versus Marvel covers that suck at drawing on.
Well, hey, now we know, you know, and
Yeah,
this is what the show is for. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, and it's yeah, it comes down to that. Really, it was like as a first show, it was really good, really fantastic learning experience
sweet.
for me and you know, hopefully anybody that's listening, you know, whatever, you know.
Now, from all the from everything that you were selling there, the prints and stuff, what size would you say sold the best for you?
You know, actually, that's kind of a tough one. The 8.5 by 11s, I think, sold the best, but not by too much.
Okay.
Um, I think, you know, some people came prepared more for like the cosplaying part of the convention versus like, you know, the art stuff, or they came to like see, you know, specific people that were there, like specific actors and stuff. I mean, there wasn't a terrible amount of like, they weren't like high profile actors or anything. It was like the Red Ranger was like the biggest guy there.
No.
um,
Okay. Okay.
but um, yeah, I would say I sold quite a few 11 by 17 prints, and I sold quite a few 8.5 by 11 print, or yeah, 8.5 by 11 prints. But again, I think it came down to, you know, people want to spend less so they could spend more in other areas, right?
Mm.
So you know, a $5 printer or whatever I was charging, I can't remember off the top of my head, versus a $15 print. You know, people were like, okay, yeah, I'll go with the $5 print, right?
Now, as far this is something that's interesting as well for myself. You know, um, pricing at a convention compared to pricing outside of it.
Yeah, so that's a good question because that also brought me to my own like aha moment
Mm.
after the convention and after talking to a few guys and watching a few, you know, YouTube videos and stuff on, you know, convention experiences and stuff is you got to kind of, and it comes back again to as an artist, you're running a business, you know? So
That
not only is it supply and demand, but it's also you got to think about the area in which you are conventioning in. So like
taking
so this
notes,
is
y'all.
something
Take notes.
yeah,
You
so this
know.
is something yeah, and I'm gonna suggest taking 10 minutes before you go to a convention, before you start pricing your stuff. Take 10 15 minutes, look up the average income of that area. And now as a business, right, you don't want to make people feel like you're being swifty about their prices, but you know, have an idea of how to price your stuff if sometimes you might be going to a convention in a lower income area like the Flower City Con I think was a lower income area, and that's why people were more likely to spend less money on things, right, because it was cheaper
Mm.
versus an area that had double that income, you know, that they might be more willing to just say, that's cool, I want to buy it, throw money at it. So, you know, it might make the difference between putting something on sale, like, you know, two for 10 or something like that, you know, versus just saying 10 each.
Okay. Hey,
Um,
that is man, dude. I would have never thought of that, man. But that is a
yeah,
great tip. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't think of it either. And I actually, so when when I went to the convention, um, that was not something I even thought of yet. Was
Mm.
how am I going to price anything, right? Like my individual actual art stuff. You know, that the pre-made pieces that aren't prints, the original art, sorry. I didn't even know how to price those. I'm like, how am I going to price these versus, my actual, commission price and stuff. So like those, I actually did discount a little bit compared to what my actual prices are. Um, but I tried to stick with my actual commission prices for the convention for people who wanted commissions at the convention.
Hmm.
But that was mostly because the convention was small and I didn't expect to get a ton, and I didn't actually. So, and again, I think it came down to, the area was a little lower income, so they might not have wanted, they leaned more towards, not doing that and trying to see what I had available for the cheaper price.
Okay.
But I got like one commission. I did a Green Lantern piece. Somebody commissioned me, and it was awesome. He was super excited about it, and he actually ended up coming back the next day. And I had brought some sketch cards because I was like, originally I didn't think to bring sketch cards. I'm like, I don't know how big these of a sell these would be. Yeah, it turns out the guy was a huge fan of art cards, so he
Sweet. Yeah.
bought all of them.
Wow. Nice. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Look
so
at you.
so I
Get
actually
it.
sold out of something, which actually was
Sweet.
very exciting.
That was awesome. Um, now we got talking about, the size variations of what sold better. Were there any characters that stood out to you that a lot of people might have been asking for that maybe you had or didn't have?
Um, so there was one actual one. Somebody asked for a Spider-Man Prince that I didn't have yet. But overall, like I think at least at this specific convention, and maybe this is the way the art community and art fans are trending, is I think anime does a little bit, maybe a lot bit better at the convention.
Say it for the people in the back, man.
Yeah, I think anime was a hot hit at the convention. One lady
Mm.
behind me, um, I had the guy at the next table talk to me about it. He said that she did so well with she had trinkets, art trinkets, and she had art and prints and stuff. But apparently she did so well that she actually sold out of stuff early. She got to leave at Saturday at like 2 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how well she did with her anime stuff. I mean, don't get me
Wow.
wrong, her stuff was good. It was very good.
Yeah, yeah.
She actually had like keychains and stuff she was selling. So
A bunch of merch, huh?
yeah, so I think a lot of the anime stuff is really hot, and I think it's going to continue to trend that way with all the big titles that are out, like Demon Slayer and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's My Hero Academia. I think there's a movie coming
Yeah,
out soon. So,
yep, another My Hero thing coming out, and that actually, so that is why while I was there at the convention, yes, I did Deku and Red Riot while I was there. Yep.
clean, bro. Clean work, bro.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, that that worth mentioning is when you're at a convention and you're surrounded by people who are super talented and in some cases more talented than you, it almost gives you like this weird adrenaline that like you're like, the piece that I do next needs to be fantastic, and it just came out, the both of them, it came out flawless, and like trying to like recreate that precision has been difficult.
It's that standard, bro. It's you. You got it standard now, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what's
yeah,
up, dude.
yeah. So yeah, those turned out really good, and I mean, surprisingly enough, they didn't sell. The original pieces, the original art didn't sell, so I came back and I made them prints.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. And I know all about that, man. I got to give it to my bro Della News, man. I talk about him a lot. This guy's a fucking genius, right?
Yeah,
He's probably one of my biggest critics, and I, even though sometimes I don't want to hear it, I greatly appreciate it, man. So,
yeah,
um,
that's fantastic, dude. I mean, yeah, being able to take critiques as an artist, just as a general rule of thumb, man, this only way to get better is to get stuff from other artists and say, oh, you should do this a little differently, or add line work here, yada yada.
Yeah. He holds me to he's like, hey, from now on, it's like this is the quality you got to produce every single time, and it's like,
Yeah,
holy shit, it's hard to live by that, right? Live up to that,
yeah,
and
yep.
but that's what makes that's how you grow. So,
Yeah, and it's one of those things too, right? Like it's very easy to fall back into bad habits. I do it all the time,
mm-hmm.
and it's so difficult to break out of sometimes. To I don't know, like in some instances, like drawing the faces in one way versus drawing them the old way I used to do it. Falling back into that can be troublesome. You know.
Definitely. And you know what? Let's go a little out of left field. And just really quick, sketching the beast, man. Where did that come from? Once again, man. For all that don't know.
So Sketching the Beast came from many years ago and actually you can still see remnants of this on my YouTube channel. Many years ago, I decided that I was going to try to integrate my my previous existing passion for working out and lifting and eating healthy and art in some way. I, I had no actual idea how I was going to do that
I see,
because
I
they're
see.
they're just so completely separate. I sat down for a while and I thought of like, what are some really cool, catchy names that I can come up with, that, for a YouTube channel name that would sound cool that you'd want to go check out. So I ended up coming up with Sketching the Beast, and I took a survey while I was at work, and I said, "What do you think of this name versus this name?" And people were like, "I like that. That's kind of cool. That's very catchy." So that ended up sticking. And I did that YouTube channel, lifting, and then I had some artwork on the side stuff, and didn't it didn't jive well originally. So I actually fell off of drawing for a while, and was just lifting on my own. And then when I revived the channel, I just kind of stuck with it. So I said, yeah, I'll just I'll use that. That's gonna be my art handle from now on. So that's kind of where it came.
Sweet, man. I
But I used to be a beast. Not so much
you should tell him now. Now you're just a beauty, man.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
There
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
go.
I'm just a beauty.
Have the best of both worlds, y'all. So that's what's up. And yeah, man, we're at the halfway point, y'all. We're with James Sullivan sketching the beast, as you heard. Make sure you guys go check him out at YouTube. Go and subscribe, right? Um, oh, geez, I just went blank. Jesus Christ, that's the first time that
Yeah,
ever
you're good.
happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I don't do crazy on TikTok, but yeah, everywhere. I'm sketching the beast. I mean, you can even check out the website, sketchingthebeast.com.
it's that simple. It's that simple. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to go ahead and write it down below. Try to please use the bubble. That way we could share with the rest of the audience here.
Yeah, if you
With
have
the
any questions, yeah, I'd love to answer whatever I can.
definitely. Um, I gotta ask you back to the conventions, right? That was just
Hmm.
a little sidetrack there.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, in your opinion, was it worth it?
definitely. Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
100%. And this is something that like troubled me for a little while before the convention, because at the time I was kind of doing some research. I paid for my table, and I'm like, I had second thoughts because I got everything. I just got so much going on right now with like the wife, and I'm like, who am I going to take with me if she's sick? Yada yada, and like I was actually freaking out the day before because she was sick. Like, oh my god, no, I'm not. I'm gonna have to go by myself, and I'm like freaking out. And thankfully, she did end up getting to go. But yeah, one of the things that I was worried about was like, is it gonna be worth putting my time and effort into this? Like, am I gonna even make any money? And then it occurred to me, you know, there's other people there. I mean, that alone actually is worth the $80 or whatever I paid for the table, or 100. I think it was like 120 with the extra pass. But that alone was worth the $120 I paid, was to go and meet other people and artists, and just even to just display my work like it was a gallery, right? And just
Mm.
just just to have the satisfaction of people being able to see my stuff made a huge difference to me. But I mean, after the fact, it was definitely worth it. I mean, I had listened to a podcast, and I want to say it was like
Chatting with Zim?
Comics.
No, that you had to toss that in there.
Always, try to tune in when I can.
I had to toss that in there.
Of course. Speaking of, you should make your stuff podcast, I think, or audio podcast. I think that would go far. But anyways, and not too
working on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, working on that.
I was listening to a podcast, and these guys were very negative about doing a convention, and I just couldn't, like, things that they were saying were making sense. They were giving you the hard truth about what goes into a convention, and it was one of those things where you go down the lists. Are there other podcasts in chat?
Right. Only because I let them, Davey. Only because I let them. Every podcast has to go through me, man.
But I was listening to them, and they were very negative, and they gave you a list of like things that they were saying. Well, if you don't have this, then don't do it. If you don't have this, then don't do it. If you don't have this, then don't do it. And like they came from a perspective. It was coming from a perspective of somebody who was like really high up there and is already really established in like 10, 15 years in the industry. And they're like saying, no, don't do it unless you have this and this and this. But like they were forgetting the key things were like, if you've never done it before, you need to just do it and see. Like there's like, you can listen to suggestions all day and do your best and prepare, but don't let that be a preventative for stopping you from doing something that you want to do just because you've heard, negative things or whatever, right? You don't think you're 100% prepared. You're not going to know unless you go and do it, and see what the outcome is. It's really that simple.
Perfect example would be movie reviews, right? People, it's like, hey, look at Venom. People agree that Venom was great. Others say it sucked. Yeah. Just check it out for yourself, right?
Exactly. Right. You're not going to know. You're not going to know unless you do it yourself. And you know what I mean? And things are different from different perspectives, too, in the way that, like I said, anime art did better at this convention, but you know what? Comic art might do better at my next one. I don't know.
Word.
It's one of those things.
Yeah. Danny Cortez is saying, there's always something new we learn from the convention. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then to top it off, one of the things that made the convention worth it for me, wasn't necessarily the sales or how much money I made, but it was the connections I made. Now I have people's emails and their Instagrams and stuff. I met one really cool artist, Steve Messenger. He's a really cool guy. He just picked up, doing conventions full time as his gig. That's his new full-time job. And, we talked about it a little while, and he's one of the guys that I was like, wow, dude, like you have so much stuff. You have so much prints. You have a ton of, stuff that people can choose from. And he was one of those guys that gave me advice on like, what I should do next time and stuff. And that alone was a great experience. And then to top it off, there was comic writers there. Who were interested in my work that want to work with me. And I have their contacts. So, just being able to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Talk
network.
To people. Yeah. Just to be able to network was a huge benefit for, going to the convention. For
sure.
As a first time artist. And again, you're not going to know, like, there is a degree where like, you want to feel at least somewhat comfortable with your artwork, but you're not going to know how you do unless you go.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely, I mean, there's a lot of people. I heard like a lot of motivational speakers and stuff like that is in order to find out, you got to take that leap, right? Because you're never going to know if you don't leap. Right.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely don't let anything detour you from following your dreams if conventions is the way you guys want to go, right? Listen to James, man. Right, fresh off the con. Soon to be in Saratoga Comic Con. That's
Yep.
going to be coming November 20 and 21st. So make sure you guys go out there. It's Saratoga Springs City Center, New York. Yeah, so that's what's up, man.
Yeah, and that one's going to be a completely different experience for me because that one I'm not going to be able to drive home at the end of the
Oh,
day.
man.
That one is 5 hours away from me,
Okay.
which actually is surprising. I didn't realize that New York was that big that something could be 5 hours away. Other than New
Holy
York
crap.
City.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's like 5.5 hours away. So I have to like there's now this added difference of A, I'm away from home. B, I have to
Money
get a
out the
hotel.
pocket. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. That's more. So that's going to cost me more. And this, but thankfully, I think this one's a little bit bigger of a convention. The table was more expensive, and the area. And again, coming back to my original thing that I was talking about with pricing your work was the area that this is in is a little bit higher income. So
Okay.
I have a feeling that there will be more people, and there will be more people with bigger
With dough.
pockets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
$50 a print, y'all know.
I don't want to upset anybody by saying that. Like I'm not greedy in any sense at all. Like, you know what I mean? I really go for the artwork, but it's one of those things where you got to take into consideration.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's there's certain reasons why Whole Foods and Trader Joe's pop out at certain tiers
Yep.
across America, man. You're not gonna find a Whole Foods in the ghetto. Sorry to say, but yeah, that should be a shirt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably cool.
Man, another thing that caught my eye, dude, and we got to get into this a little bit, bro. It's
Yeah.
the Spider Gwen and your colorist, Demir.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Is this
Fantastic.
somebody you met at the con, or is somebody you just talked to through
Um,
like Instagram?
no, actually, I didn't meet any colorists at the convention, just, standalone artists I met. I put out a post a while ago looking for colorists, guys who like to color, that want to, potentially do it professionally. And I got a couple hits, and I ended up settling on him. He had some really good stuff on his Instagram. I would check him out if you haven't already. It's Demir underscore Rosic, I believe.
It's Demir dot
Oh,
Rosic.
dot Ro- oh dot
Yeah, yeah,
Rosic.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Underscore.
Oh yeah, he's
Um,
hella fire right here. So there it
yeah, he
is.
does great work. He does a lot of work with my
Good.
buddy Brian Silverbacks. That's what Brian. He said that this was one of his go-tos for when he can't fill in his own work.
Sweet.
Um, so yeah, I was blown away by his coloring job, and actually, I had I had a different colorist that I was using, the guy who did the My Hero pieces. His name is oh wow, I'm having a brain fire.
Did you tag him in here?
I might have tagged him in one of the
Uh,
originals.
Per Perjaquan?
Oh yeah, Per Joaquin. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perjaquin. There you go.
Maybe you're saying it right. I don't actually
Totally butcher that.
Yeah, I'm sorry if we did. Fela says I know Brian. He's dope. Yeah, Brian's a cool guy.
Yeah,
Um,
Perjaquin. Sounds like a Brazilian or South.
yeah, I think he is. So I actually originally commissioned him through Fiverr.
Oh, okay,
He
cool.
does some alright. He does some pretty good work. Um, but I just didn't feel like he was up to the task for these next challenges. And I don't. That's nothing against him personally. Just I didn't think his was the style I wanted to go for.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
And sometimes different artists won't fit with certain pieces or certain art. So I tried out Demir. He was a little more expensive, but I think it was worth it. Definitely was worth it. And actually, I'm gonna be sending him another piece today. Actually,
Oh yeah.
the Batman
Can
piece.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, man. I was gonna ask. Can you spill the beans here? Let's see which one.
Yeah,
And
yeah, the
for
Batman piece.
all you guys interested, he's talking about that
Let me
piece
see.
right there.
Let me see if I can pull up the actual piece. Hold on.
Well, I'm not gonna. I like Demir. I like his work.
Yeah,
It's totally badass, and it totally
thank you.
fits what you're trying to, you know.
Yes,
You
yeah, and he's very excited about the Batman piece. He's been doing a lot of Batman coloring, he says. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with.
that is awesome, awesome. And it
And
looks like,
actually,
uh-huh.
oh, go ahead.
No,
No, go
no, no,
ahead.
go. It's just a
Um,
question, but
yeah, I was just gonna say, I actually think having a colorist do your work when you are, I guess by bread and butter, I'm just a pencilist actually, and inking and coloring is a completely new world to me, as of the last like year and a half. But having a colorist actually gives me the freedom to concentrate more on the pencils and inks, which allows me to take a little more time on them versus, kind of being in somewhat of a rush because it takes me a whole month to do a full turnaround on a piece like that, where
for
I do
sure.
from pencils to color, and that's only because of my limited ability of time.
Yeah, and on a side note, man, your inking has gotten a lot better, bro, since I
Thank
first
you,
met you. So,
thank you,
kudos, man. I definitely see the improvement, man. That's what it's all about, brother.
thank you very much. Yes,
That's
yeah,
badass.
yeah, I think, and I'm sure people have heard this advice 100 times over, and it doesn't mean anything until you've listened to it. But
Mm,
yeah, taking your time on a piece really makes the biggest difference.
yeah, night and
Like
day.
just insanely different.
Crazy, man. Um, what did you take away from? Well, I think what's the biggest thing you learned from the whole experience, man? What's something? Let me be more specific. What's something that you took away from this one that you're definitely gonna be like, okay, I need to apply it for the Saratoga one.
A couple things. Like one of the first being, the pricing thing. I think that was huge. Making sure that I have sales to provide for the next one, I think is also another huge one. Because if you have sales on stuff like if I do, bundle Deku and Red Riot together, and say you can get both of these for 12, or you can buy them each for 8 or piece or whatever. I think those are the types of things I need to start thinking about now to go into the next con. Sales, I think, really just draw a lot of people towards you, and having more display material, I guess. As you saw in the video, right, everything I had was on my table.
Okay.
So the next convention, I'm gonna have stuff behind me. I bought a thing to like a drape to like put behind me with so I can put prints on it and stuff.
Okay.
It'll be a better display.
How are you setting up that display? Yeah, I mean it's a drape. It's got a drape on something, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I bought like it's an 8 foot wide stand thing, and it's tall, and there's a couple different ways I'm thinking I'm gonna do it. I'm not sure yet. So the one suggestion was taking the top loaders and putting Velcro on the back of them and having a Velcro a sheet that you can Velcro the prints right to it, so that you don't have to
Mm.
deal with tape or anything like that. That's one suggestion, and then you have the top loader you can just put your prints into that people can see, and that way it's a little bit easier for you. You can interchange them. Um,
So this says Zimma's artist hacks, right? And I'm bringing this up because I think it's relevant to the conversation, which is for our first con or our first festival, we ended up using a clothing rack
hmm,
that we added book binders to the rail, and then
hmm.
we ended up having clips and clipping on the prints there and having a wall, actually creating the wall. And it's I think it was like under $60 or something like that for everything. It was very cheap watch, but
That's awesome.
I made a quick video on it. There you go. You buy a clothing rack. You buy some of those pins. Boom. There you go. You put it all together. and boom, you have your display in the back.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's bad. That's badass, dude. That's very awesome.
So, man, look into that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, very awesome.
I think everything together was $67 plus tax.
Oh, that's
So,
not bad at all. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah, yeah, and I think the only other thing that I'm missing is I need a like a banner or something.
mm,
And I'm half hoping that this Batman piece turns out really cool that I can use that in my banner. I think it definitely will. But
Walmart and Walgreens do banners
oh yeah,
same day, and pretty fair pricing on them. So, yeah,
really
man.
like vinyl banners or
I think Walgreens does vinyl banners, and um, it's I'm not sure if it's 2x8 or 3x8, but I think it's roughly about 40,
oh
$50.
oh that's not bad. Yeah,
Not bad at all, man.
not bad at all.
So
Well, I'll check that out. Thank you.
yeah, definitely, man. I just learned this today. That there you go, the genius de la news, man.
All
Shout
right,
out to him once again, dude. Yeah, he
awesome. Yeah,
definitely got.
and I think that's the coolest part, right? Is again like chatting with other artists about what they do and what their experiences were. If you're preparing, really helps. I mean, we all have different ways. There's 100 different ways to skin a cat, right? You just got to find which one works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I hate that
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 saying,
saying.
just don't boil the cat. It's
Yeah, right. Yeah.
now don't torture the poor thing. We at Sketching the Beast and Chatting with Zen, we do not endorse hurting
Any
animals
harm
here.
to
Any
animals?
harm to animals. No animals were harmed during the filming of this.
During the chatting.
Oh my god, I just got to put that out there, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Cool, brother. Cool, man. Dude, man, I don't know what else to say, man, but it's just
Oh,
kudos,
thank you,
man.
thank you,
That's what's up, bro.
thank you.
Yeah, it's you guys cat killer. You guys you guys motivate me, motivate me and push me, and I definitely learned a lot from you guys and you coming on. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, same to you, dude. I mean, it's fantastic you do this every week, and like have all these artists on. It's really cool, and you know what? It's another thing. It's also cool to have the experience to be on the show, and it's a cool thing to watch and see what other artists are doing, and it's just fantastic.
Awesome. And Blackjack says he's not a fan of the boiled, but what about deep frying cat?
No,
Oh my god.
no cat in any way of cooking is great.
And that leads me. He also asked the question earlier.
Oh, yeah.
He says, would you eat a handful of spiders if it would grant you superpowers?
Would you eat a handful of spiders?
I think I would.
Yeah, I totally would. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Totally
yeah,
would.
totally would.
That's what's
Totally in a
up.
heartbeat. In fact, you know what I mean. If
Right,
somebody
right.
just came up to me and was like, "All right, if I can prove that this works, will you do it?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm all over that."
It's like, here, give me your share too,
Yeah. Any
Be
extras you got?
right. Be like Peter Petrelli from Heroes. If you guys remember,
Yeah.
if you get, I'm taking you guys way back
Yeah.
now, but
As long as I'm
uh,
not gonna grow hairy arms,
oh, for real. And yeah, dude, you know, how's your mindset had changed, man?
My mindset has changed a ton. For multiple reasons though, since the last time I've been on at least. The major reason being my kids.
Mm,
You know, I actually so I've always wanted to be an artist since like forever. And for the longest time ever, and I think we chatted about this in one of the previous episodes, for the longest time ever, it was just there was no career in art. I was always told, and there was no way you were gonna perform as an artist and make money. And so I proceeded to not go down that route like I would have if I was persuaded otherwise. So I'm kind of doing this to show, one part is to show that my kids that anything is possible. If you put your mind to it, even if it's difficult, because God, I will tell you, this being an artist is excruciating sometimes, and mostly mentally, obviously, not so much physically,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but as long as you put your mind to it and you want to do it, and it's something you want to do, that you can make it happen. And so that's one part of reasons my mindset's changed, is because my kids. The other part is just because I've come this far, you know, and it's like, why not keep going?
Well said.
But there is a small piece of my mindset that's changed since the convention, where I do think I need to figure out, and this is something that I think I'm gonna think about doing, is actually taking a short break from doing work for other people, and for the sake of Prince, is that you know I still feel like I need to get better. And even though I think, and my wife tells me this all the time, I mean, the difference is night and day between 3 years
Mm-hmm.
ago and now. I'm still not where I want to be, and I contribute that partially to the fact that I'm doing so much, right? I mean, I'm going from pencils, I'm going to inks, I've been doing some coloring on some of the pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes time, and that's time away from the practice that I'm able to perform. That's taking time away from um, other things that I could be concentrating better on to get better at quicker. So I think that's part of my mindset is it's okay to take a break if it's to become better at it.
Yeah. No,
So
and you brought up a good point, especially those taking breaks from like doing commissions to focus, right? Focus on priorities in hand and creating your as Notorious Pez says, shout out to him, variety, right? Variety, variety, variety.
yeah,
Um, no, so that's good, man. At least you're starting to think like that, bro.
yeah,
And
yeah, and hopefully I'm gonna take 6 to 8 weeks off when the kid is born. So I'm gonna take a lot of that time to concentrate on when I'm available to sleep. After I've slept a little, to
oh man,
to concentrate on pencils or inks or whichever route I want to go. I mean, I'm still not sure where I'm at as far as if I should be a penciler or an inker or both or whatever. The world of art is so big that it's if you don't explore it, you don't know if you're gonna be good or like it. You know what I mean?
mm, yep,
And I find myself wanting to get better at everything all at once, and obviously you can't do that. It's just impossible. You're spreading yourself too thin. But that's just something that I kind of want to step back and look at and see, what do I like, and what's going to make sense if I do pursue, if I do finally end up getting a career in art. Do I want to do this? I want to do it digitally. Do I want to, I mean, I will say I've been doing a lot of more digital stuff, like the Batman piece. I did actually pencil and ink it, scanned it in, and then I actually hated the way that the inks looked, so I re-inked it in Clip Studio,
okay,
and I find myself enjoying inking in Clip Studio a lot more than
yeah.
I do prefer inking on paper.
Oh man, and you know what? And dude. You pretty much took the questions right out of my head. Man, get out of my head! Those spiders are working.
Let me get in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. Well, that's what I wanted to ask. How has the experience of going digital? How has that affected your art? Do you recommend it? Do you um, let's go over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I mean, I recommend it, but I also don't. Um, I still think I still think being able to create stuff on paper gives you a different kind of advantage versus going right into digital and working digitally your whole career. And you know, I mean, obviously experience, you know, does make a difference too. But I think like if I didn't have the paper foundations of, you know, penciling and inking, like the digital process wouldn't mean anything to me. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because I would just pick up all these shortcuts and tips, and then if I ever needed to go back to that, you know, I wouldn't have it. But the good thing about digital is that it has increased my workflow. I would say tenfold at least,
Wow.
as far as how everything goes, because you know it's you make a mistake on a line on paper, you know you have to either use whiteout or you have to redo the whole thing or whatever, you know. Versus digital, you know, you're working with layers. You can wipe it out, start over, erase, you know, undo. You have all those extra options. You even have the ability to pull up a reference and have it right next to you and use that, which makes the biggest difference. And now with Clip Studio, like you can do the 3D modeling, and I still haven't done too much with that yet, but that's going to make a huge difference when I start when I start drawing my comic.
Mm.
Um, you know, I'm going to use the hell out of that because it's going to make a huge difference in, you know, positioning and because it's different when you have to draw it from your mind versus being able to see where the figure is in the panel, right? You're going to be able to see all that.
Mm.
So I think I definitely recommend digital, but I still think, you know, having that traditional experience and you know, ability makes a huge difference in your digital work as well.
Yeah, you know, I want to ask the question to the room. I mean, what do you guys do for the room? What do you guys prefer? I'm seeing a
I'm seeing
couple
a lot of digital.
50-50 down the split. Yeah. Let's see. Danny says traditionals have more of a human feeling, whether digital comes out more about business, right? Cutting time and maximizing production.
Yeah, yeah,
Delanus says digital is just another tool like any artist should use.
yep,
I agree.
yeah.
Um,
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, by no means is being a digital artist a necessary thing at all. I mean, I think that's where the industry is going with NFTs and
mhm.
all that sort of stuff. But I think um, you know, if traditional is the way you want to be as an artist, be traditional. I mean, that's up to you. Again, like Delanu said, yeah, digital is just another tool that you're able to use. You
Yeah,
know, at
for
your
sure.
disposal if you can afford it, right? But it's not a necessary thing to buy. I mean, you can get tablets pretty cheap now, but
Yeah, yeah. No,
not as
and you're right. You're right. It's something that it's like it's not really needed.
mm-hmm,
It will maximize your efficiency, just like Danny said.
mm-hmm,
Um, and I think I mean I'm just gonna speak from experience. You know, I was like uh I was the same like Art of Heroes. You know, I was like, man, digital sucks. Blah blah blah. I'm never gonna do that.
yeah,
And you know, this year I got, you know, kind of pushed into it a little bit more, like seriously I should say.
mm-hmm,
And I love it, man. It's haven't touched my canvas, haven't touched my markers in over since March, I think. So I think
oh
that's how
nice,
long I got doing digital, man. And
oh wow,
it's great, dude. Is I'm not looking back. I tried doing one or two like traditional pieces, and I find that it actually comes out cleaner now that I'm doing digital. I don't know why, but it just looks that much better. It looks
yeah,
crispier.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you have the added benefit of having that experience. You know, it all comes down to it. I mean, everything. I think anything you do art wise can you know get its feelers in your other areas of art too. You know what I mean? Like if you spend time doing something, you know that could necessarily very easily transfer into something completely different, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and Delanu says digital has its pros and cons, and it has its place in certain areas. I fully
Mm-hmm.
agree. I mean, you could always do a traditional piece, scan it in the digital, and then do your lettering, right?
digital art doesn't taste as good as eating a painting, but both are fun.
Oh,
I'm not
oh,
sure why
that's
you're
Davey,
eating
dude.
art, but okay.
Man, if y'all ain't followed Blackjack Davey, man, y'all better, man, get on it, man. This guy, great guy, great fucking guy, man. Always comes out with some of the craziest shit. I love it. Uh, and T Toner as well. T Toner, he said, he says try doing both, and he says that 3D printing is the newest thing out there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a whole different beast, aside from
Oh,
sketching, the beast here.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. 3D art interests me a lot. It's something that I've wanted to tinker with forever, but
mm.
it's just one of those things like I just don't have the time, man. It's just well, I work 40 plus hours. I spend time with the kids, and I get an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if I decide I want to deprive myself of sleep to do art at night. you know?
uh, all these guys, they'll just say paint does taste good, and then Danny goes, "It's nothing like the smell of turpentine and oil paints to get inspired." Oh my God, where the hell is
Yeah,
this
I'm
show
sure that'll
going?
do something to your
Right,
inspiration. I'm
right.
not sure what. I'm definitely, yeah.
You'll be painting on cloud nine and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you wake up
um,
from that and you're like, what did I paint? What is that?
right, right. You don't
It's
remember
fun.
what you did. You got a whole tattoo and everything. You wake up. Oh my
Those
God.
those are the paintings that sell for 10 billion.
Right, right. Exactly, exactly. Right.
I was
It's
on
like
turpentine when I when I
you gotta
painted.
come in.
I don't know. Sure, it means that, whatever you said.
It's like make me better. Yeah. Start smelling. Holy shit.
That's funny.
Um, man, it's that room, bro. It could go anywhere. You know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
about these guys.
yeah. It's
Um,
awesome.
if anybody else has any questions, please make sure you guys are asking now. I think I'm going to open it up for a couple minutes. If you guys have last questions for James Sullivan, aka Sketching the Beast, um, now's the time to ask. If not, then we could, just close it up, man.
Yeah,
Um, and any
yeah.
other thing besides the Saratoga that you're having keeping an eye on, dude?
As far as cons coming up,
Yeah.
there is one con I'm probably gonna sign up for next year. I think it's in I want to say early spring.
Okay.
It's here in New York and Buffalo again. Nickel City Con.
Nickel
Um,
City Con.
that's
Okay.
that's another that's another bigger one. Or at least it's gotten pretty big here in Buffalo. Um, but I don't know. I don't 100% know right how things are going to transition. With the kid and obviously COVID. We're still dealing with that. So other than that, I'm just keeping an eye on it for right now. But I'm definitely thinking I want to go. But it's gonna really depend on a multitude of factors really because it is more expensive. It is actually more expensive than
Okay.
even Saratoga is. So it's like tier 3 of like tier 100
Oh shit.
of prices of conventions that you can get to. And it's like $220 or something per table. I'm just like, that's
Wow,
a
yeah.
lot. That's a lot.
Dude, you think that's a lot? Talk about C2E2 coming in. I think it's coming to Chicago in December. Dude, we're
Hmm.
talking about like at least $1,000 for a table, dude.
Are you for real? Oh my god.
I've heard. Don't quote me on that, but I've heard it's at least $1,000.
Oh my
Uh,
god. That's crazy.
but at the same time, dude, it's monies.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So the one guy, like I said, the one guy I was talking to, Steve Messenger Art. Check him out if you haven't. He was telling me that he was talking with some other guy at a different convention that basically like the more expensive the table that he got, the more money that he was getting. And like
okay,
some conventions have different tiers of tables. Like some tables are positioned in better areas than others, so you pay more. But he said that they would always buy the most expensive table they could buy at the convention, and they would just like blow it away with like how much money they made. They
wow,
would quadruple their investment in a day. And like I mean, I don't know who this artist is that he's talking about, but I was just like, I wish.
yeah, yeah,
I was lucky to make, I was lucky to make an extra 1/3 on top of what I spent to get out here. But you know, that would be awesome if I could.
Yeah, yeah, for
You know,
sure.
if I ever get to a point where I can make uh you know, quadruple what I spent on a table, you know, I'm golden. I will quit my day job.
For sure. Yeah.
You know,
How much is the ticket? I don't know what the ticket is, the pricing for that. I think it's like a 3 day pass is anywhere between 35 to about 50, $60. But that's
mm.
like a 3 day pass type spiel. Danny Cortez, yeah, the artist alley. And Dela News actually had a question, man. It says, did you make a good amount from your last event and enough to be able to make a living from it?
No, no, not from this last one. Definitely not. I was, I would say I made in the one day I made as much as I make at my day job.
Mm,
But that you know that's not including how much it costs to get there, how much it costs for the table, how much it costs for me to buy prints and yada yada. So no, I would say I came out maybe an extra $100.
okay.
Well, for the whole weekend, which you know, from my point of view, was fantastic. It was fantastic because I was hoping, you know, I didn't actually think I was going to make anything. So
Okay.
I was excited to make some money, and you know, again, I think it came down to like my presentation and like where I was positioned, and you know, some other things I think took you know place with that. I think a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people went there, you know, just for the costume contest. And some people, you know, there were actually not as many art enthusiasts that were there as I had hoped. But you know, I think this next convention I'm thinking will be a little bit better.
Awesome. I know it'll be better, man. So,
Thank you, thank you.
you know
Yeah, I
what I
mean, and
mean?
I'll have quite a bit more to offer. I mean, like I said, I've been spending this last you know month since the convention just grinding away on pieces to do and art to work on because you know commissions have been really slow. I
Hmm.
mean, I haven't actually really like put out any like you know, oh, I'm taking commissions, but um, commissions have been slow, so I've been just grinding away on pieces that I can sell at the next convention.
Sweet, sweet, man. Well,
So
that's it. I guess that's it, y'all, man. It's Power Hour, man, with James Sullivan, y'all. Make sure
yeah,
you guys are following him, Sketching the Beast. Check out sketchingthebeast.com. Make sure y'all subscribing to Sketching the Beast on YouTube. While you're there, please, please, please subscribe as well to Chatting with Zim. You'll find all the archives. If you want to go back and listen to the first interview with Sketching the Beast, it's episode 39 in the archives. So go there. We talk more about his origins and all that great stuff, right? So,
yes, and you can see the difference in my artwork.
um, man, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yes, yes, yeah, definitely.
If you would stay stagnant, then that's yeah, that's a
Yeah, that would not
little
be good. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, cause for concern there, right? But
definitely.
yeah, man, growing is part of the process here, man, and always
Yes.
trust it. So, James, man, I think that wraps up the show, man. Episode 124, brother. Fucking so
Woo-hoo.
proud of you, man, for actually going out there, man, and putting your setting your yeah, not setting your foot down, but chasing that dream, right? Chasing that goals
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. Thank you
That
very much, man.
Yes, super, super fucking dope. Thank you, everybody else who joined the show, everybody who stuck around. You guys are the real MVPs here. And
Good
that's
time,
pretty
guys.
much it. Join me at 8 p.m. So, in about 3 hours and 45 minutes, we'll come with show 125. We'll be having Joke DT underscore on. He also does art festivals and stuff like that. So, if you guys want to know a little bit more about it, join us, join me, and we'll have some fun time with him. James, anything else I missed, brother? Any shout outs you want to give? I know we talked to Damir and Perjaquan. Hopefully, I'm butchering,
Persian,
but
yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, both of those guys. I feel bad. I don't actually know how to pronounce their names, but yeah, Demir Rosick, great guy. Check out one of my other art buddies, Brian Silverbacks. If you haven't already, he's a fantastic guy. He's got a lot coming down the pipeline. Um, and yeah, I mean, shout out to everybody who follows me. Thank you very much, and shout out to everybody who joined today. I had a good time, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, as did I, man. And when we get closer to that Comic-Con, man, if you want to come back after it, be my guest, brother. We could talk about it some more, and
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully in the next couple months I'll have more news.
that's what's
We'll
up.
see. We'll
That's what's
see.
up.
Yeah, I'm laying down some final plans, and I know we talked about this at the first show, and I said that there was a lot coming, but with everything that's going on, but I am finally putting more pen to paper on the script for my comic. So,
Sweet, sweet.
so hopefully I'll have some more to give you, when that comes.
We'll keep our fingers crossed, brother, man. And you got the whole community behind you, bro. Just waiting and supporting. So
Awesome.
that's what's up. That's show 124, y'all. James, thank you once again. I'm your host. I'm not your host, chatting with Zim. I'm the real Zim Zimmer. What am I talking about? This is chatting with Zim. And yeah, man. It's been a cool show. Had lots of fun. Once again, make sure you guys come back 8 p.m. Central. Make sure you guys are following not only Della News, Della Torre Comics, Monstrous Art Clan, Live with Seven, Dead and Laughing, and we got the Drawn Con Show, and we got a new guy as well, Rip Cycle. He's been one of my guests before. He has a podcast on Spotify. I'll be on tomorrow. So I'm going to be, I think, episode 6 guest. Tune into that. The show is called The Basement. Check it out. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Check it out. I'm always looking for new podcasts to listen to on the way to work. I got a long drive, so.
There you go. And like I said, if this interests you in doing more talk shows, just getting your name out there, let me know, and I'll definitely hook you up with these guys, and yeah, man, some more networking, some more promotion, right?
Word up, dude. Absolutely.
That's what's up, guys. You had it, you heard it first. Let's keep going to the next one. We'll see ya.
Guys.
Later.
Later.